It's that time of the week, folks. Time for a little bit of What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
Together we are
Ryan and John.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. Nobody can see that anymore. That's great.
That's fine. On the couch, as always, Cara Tafoya,
You.
the lovely Annie the Scoveman,
Whoa.
just out of frame, producer Olivia Tafoya.
No, in frame.
Is she in frame?
Hey, for the
frame.
record, you gotta talk into Kara's mic because you're in Kara's shot. So
Right.
you gotta talk into Kara's mic.
So
every time.
Annie's mic is not an option.
So there you
That's
have
not an
it.
option. Well, you could, but we wouldn't see you.
Okay, cool.
It'd kind of be like a ghost.
You'd be our ghosties.
Like, ooh.
You could talk as Annie, which would be kind of cool.
Okay.
What would you say? You think?
We'd prefer it.
I think I'd sing.
Oh, does Annie sing a lot? Am I
Yeah.
missing that side of her?
Yeah, you don't get to see that. That's when.
Oh, cool.
you know-
Compartmentalized. Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't sing in front of John.
Yeah. Well, I just don't need that in my life.
No, of
Certainly
course not.
Boundaries. There's some boundaries.
Right. Well, back again.
Here we are.
Here we are. John,
What's up?
quick check-in. How you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
Any
I'm doing great.
major life events happening in
No.
your sphere?
No, I was at a wedding over the weekend
Okay.
in Los Banos, California.
Oh, where
Which-
is that?
You've never heard of it. You
No,
never will.
never.
It is
Okay.
a small town in northern California.
How north are we talking? Like San Fran?
It's an hour and a half back from San Jose, and it's like it's also past LA. So it's somewhere in between LA and San Jose.
And help me out. Where's San Jose?
I don't know. It's up north. I don't know. I flew into San Jose.
San Jose
Airport.
is west of San Francisco.
Okay,
West,
so it's
southwest of
so
San Francisco.
You just described to me a 6-hour, probably 1,000-mile stretch of land somewhere
Yeah.
between Los Angeles
Truly.
and San Francisco.
I flew into San Jose. My parents drove from here, and they went an hour and a half past the town we were going to pick us up from the airport and bring us back to Los Banos, which is where
God.
we had the wedding.
Truly
It was
terrible.
It was like small town. Like it's my greatest nightmare. Like I just imagine if I ever lived in a town like that, I would just wither away and no one would ever know I existed. It's like that.
Your greatest nightmare was being there or having to live there?
Having to live in a town like that, like where it's small and there's literally nothing to do. My dad, like who's usually like TripAdvisor, and he like we got in on Friday and then we had like half a day on Saturday before the wedding at Saturday night, and he when he got up in the morning, he gets up early. He was like doing research, and then when we woke up, he's like, so I tried to find something for us to do, and there's
I'm
literally nothing
stumped.
to do.
I am absolutely
The
stumped.
nearest AMC theater was an hour away.
No.
Oh.
An hour.
back
In
by
San
the
Francisco.
airport.
And
Yeah.
I considered it because we're like, what else do you do? But
God.
other than that, I mean, a good family friend got married, so it was nice to see her get married, and it was a nice wedding.
It was never about the location.
Never was.
You're just
but
there
it was
for
just
the
like
wedding,
so
of
funny
course.
because we were like we got to the and we knew again it's my sister's old college roommate who's now a family friend with all of us. She comes down for like lip sync and
Sure.
we're all friends with her. She told us she's like, yeah, Los Banos has like nothing to do, but it was a sweet wedding. It was worth it. I was just and then I
Worth it.
flew home and yeah, it was just a busy weekend. What about you? What do you got going on this weekend?
Well, I mean, let's dive right into it, shall we?
do it.
We celebrated a pretty notable birthday in the Tafoya house. Oh, Cara Tafoya. Oh, wait, sorry.
Hey, Kara, how
She
old are
didn't
you?
hear it, so
How
it's
old are
fine.
you today?
Cara,
28.
28 years old.
That's the year of
Because I
us.
ate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Cara, I just want a brief rundown of your birthday from your perspective.
Great.
Before
start.
we get into
a great
it.
start.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my birthday started at Rich's in Hillcrest
Okay, that is true.
with friends. Got home late, went to bed.
You're really glossing over that. I feel like you're not taking enough time.
Never been to Rich's before, and it was so fun.
Oh, really?
Riches is a
Yeah.
pretty notable gay bar in the Hillcrest district
Yes,
of San
Sunday nights.
Diego.
I missed that part.
Maybe
Sunday
the
nights
biggest.
they do a show. It's called Stunt Sundays, where they have local drag queens do like a 3-minute
you were
song.
there. You were there.
We
Sunday
went there to
night.
support.
Okay.
And then we just stayed. And then at midnight took Jello shots with friends.
Oh, okay. That's the part I was confused about. I was like, you went there for breakfast? Like, where? I was like,
No.
No, she was there at
no.
Odark
Yes,
100
got it.
in the the
Midnight.
AM. Yeah, I called Kara at midnight on her birthday. She said, "I just took a Jello shot." Okay,
You're at home
See you.
with the
Yeah, I'm
cats?
at home. Yeah, like in bed, literally
you're
about to
like,
go to sleep. I'm like,
"Oh,
well,
okay, have fun."
okay, I guess I'll see you.
Yeah, rolled
on your
in,
birthday.
went to bed at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Got up, slept in. Ryan made a sign for me.
Yeah,
The infamous birthday sign that
The infamous birthday sign
we
that
just
I was
found out about.
so
it lives on.
I was so proud of Ryan because I was like, wow, it's so even. Come to find out how it'll help.
Yeah,
I made the sign.
I had some
What?
support.
Ryan,
And this
did you
is
do anything?
This is gonna be a theme for this year's birthday. Is I had a lot of support for the
Ryan
birthday.
just basically doled out some tasks.
It's
to
called
everybody.
delegating, baby.
It
Delegating,
is.
there it is.
It's called. I
Yeah.
took a page out of Annie's book.
So then
yeah.
he said, okay, let's go to breakfast. Got ready. We were going to breakfast. We were driving into like Mission Beach area. And he was like, do you know where we're going yet? And I was like, no. I was like, maybe like Olive Cafe or like, then we kept driving. And I was like, maybe we're going to Flamingo. And then we parked in the Brandy Melville Urban Outfitters parking lot. And I was like, I still don't know where we're going.
Oh, really?
A San Diego staple.
And I had never,
is
because I had
stable.
never been.
Oh,
And
what?
then we were walking there and I was like, oh, Konos. We
Yeah.
always pass it. I've never
Love
been.
Kronos. I've been there several times. Awesome.
So went there, sat down. Surprised Olivia was there.
Surprise number one.
Surprise number one.
Which is so funny because I literally called Ryan on the way over and I thought Kara heard my, like, I was
I fully had a
it
conversation
not on
this one.
speaker?
Yeah. Who did you
He didn't plug his
think?
phone in. He didn't plug his phone in,
I
so
had
we
it
had
on my ear.
a radio drive.
Yeah.
A radio.
Got there, and then Tyler came,
matter.
and then Annie showed up, and then Kat showed up. And we all sat around the table eating breakfast.
Okay.
Then,
Okay.
then
Get to the-
Kat left,
Wait,
and then
wait.
Annie left.
Listen, it's a podcast.
and we walked on the
but-
beach,
All right, go.
and then we did end up going on the Big Dipper.
Awesome.
Very nice. Very nice.
Messed up my back.
Oof.
Then we were like thinking, we're like, oh, what else do we want to do? And then Ryan was like, oh, well, actually, we're going home, and this is where we separate. And I was like,
Got
huh?
divorced on her birthday. Can you believe that?
And he was like,
Oh, the papers and everything. He's like,
yeah,
please
Yeah.
sign here,
Here's
initial
your.
here.
I'm serving
Not
you.
there.
Yep.
yeah. And he sent me to a place called Skin Habit to get a facial.
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know how I feel about the name of that place. but
I
all
did-
right.
Skin Habit.
Yeah, I didn't like it either, but it's fine.
Skin Habit.
Ew, stop saying it. Oh, God.
Why don't you like it, huh?
Inhabit.
Yes. I don't know. Skin kind of.
Where you either get a
hits weird.
massage or you get killed. One
Yeah.
of the two, I imagine.
It does sound like somebody's gonna skin you and like wear your face
Anyways,
as a
go ahead.
habit. Yeah, go ahead.
You had
Okay. Facial for an hour.
I thought it was a massage.
And then went home, had to fix my bangs because if you've ever had a facial, it ruins your hair.
Okay, the producer's giving you the high sign. Then
Oh,
how did
gosh.
you spend your evening?
Then I read my Nancy Drew book and
my
finished
God.
it.
yes, keep going. That's so good.
I finished my Nancy Drew book, and then Ryan said that I had an hour to get ready.
Oh,
So I finished my book, and I was like, well, what do I wear? And he went, well, this is what I'm wearing. And it was like a tie and a jacket. And I was like, okay. And he was like, think fancy, like more glitter.
This is like a puzzle.
Fan-
Ryan's
and I was
giving
like,
you.
okay.
You have 60 seconds.
So
and
like,
this
is
what
this
I'm
fine?
wearing.
And I was like, what
Match my
shoes
energy.
and all this stuff. So then we got in the car, and then while we're driving, he goes, "Do you feel like Italian?" I go, "Yeah, let's go." And then he drives up Parent Street, and he's like, "Oh, we're just gonna make a pit stop real quick." So then I drive up, I see Dad's car, and then I see Bethany's car.
Crazy.
So
but-
in my mind, I was like, oh, well, family, like we're meeting here probably to all go to dinner. And then like, oh, maybe since Bethany couldn't go to breakfast, she's going to come too. That was what was in my head.
You were
thinking.
working through it in that
good.
moment.
I was working through it because those were the only two cars I really saw.
Sure.
I mean, I saw Megan's car and then like
Sure.
family cars, but I was like, oh, we're probably all going to carpool
Yeah.
to dinner. So then you open the door and everybody was there. Dressed in like first people I saw was my mom and Emma in like
Yeah,
glitzed out
they were hardcore.
1930s
Okay.
flapper.
Let's pause and then give some context for
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
Okay.
happening.
Yeah.
So
No,
what
no.
Kara
I like
doesn't
what she's
realize
doing.
is, yes, I was masterminding the entire day. I was. There was a breakfast. There was a go to. The reason she went to a facial is because I was going back across town over to Point Loma to start getting ready for Kara's surprise murder mystery party. Wow.
Yes.
Big, wait. Or, yeah, it's more like that. Mystery. I've been tediously planning this party for months. And I was telling Annie yesterday, it dates back to this very podcast when Kara said,
Yes.
yeah, my birthday usually goes unnoticed. We kind of just like go
I
chill.
remember it.
You fully said that to me.
I told Andy
No,
to
I
pull
remember
the
that.
clip because it was the origin story of this villain.
And
plan.
I took that personally.
origin story.
No, I didn't say
And I took
unnoticed.
that. No,
No, you
Kara, what
literally-
did you
Kara,
say?
I didn't
You
say-
said
you
it
don't really
always is
ever-
pretty chill.
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
we never really do
I didn't
anything
say-
big for my. It was you.
I'm
have
always
never,
working, too.
It was you have never
Yeah.
really done anything big for my birthday. It
And
was
I
like
took that
fully
personally.
at Ryan.
No, it
And
wasn't.
I took that
at.
personally.
I didn't say unnoticed.
The last time,
No, you didn't
the
say
last
unnoticed.
time
You
we
said
pulled
it's
I said
usually
chill.
chill.
It's usually
It did
chill.
not go in your favor. Last time we pulled an old clip from the show, it did not.
There
go
was
in your
like a
favor.
direct burn of like Ryan doesn't do anything for my birthday because then Ryan was like, "I've done stuff for your birthday."
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
We all went- we
And
all
you
went
even said, you're like,
that
no,
day.
no, you do stuff. You
And
know,
that's something that's chill.
yes,
normally.
and I took that personally.
It's normally chill.
And so-
And
you had to
so,
go
and so, and so
And I
this year
took
I
that
decided,
person. I took
okay,
exception to
there
that.
will be absolutely no chill for Kara's birthday. So I start immediately cooking it up. I tell Annie, I tell Three Feathers Design cat pinning.
Three Feathers Design,
I tell
awesome.
John, I need some tech stuff. We start cooking up this murder mystery party, which, by the way, didn't realize a lot of work goes into a murder mystery specifically. There's a lot of
Understanding the game is a whole like part of it. And then I was like, oh, gosh.
silly by the wayside ass was thinking, I'll just write something. I'll just make up the game, right?
Yeah. Nope.
No, it's a whole thing. I had to go online. I had to download the script. There's like, you have to print out all the parts. There's like 20 characters that people can be, which was great. There was like 20 guests there.
Yeah.
Everybody had a character. We printed out the what do you call it? The evidence folders, all these things. And then it was like, okay, great. Now we have to whip up the party. I got the girls doing the design work
And you
on
have
it.
to make sure everybody who's playing like understands the game, which the hard part I thought in this regard is that like, we were kind of jumping right into it. Like like surprise Kara, and then it was like, okay, we have to start because it takes a long time.
Yes.
So like
Yes.
and you were texting us with like all these links being like, hey, this is how the game works. Like do your own research because like if you don't know, it's so hard to like get into it.
Yeah, and there was so much stuff that I didn't even really read most of it
Yeah.
until the party was happening. I was like, you know what? I'll just print out all the stuff and we'll figure it out.
Like
Yeah.
the fact that the murder mystery party was supposed to be your birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
like you were supposed to plan it for
well,
your own.
It was confusing.
I mean,
weird.
I've been to a murder mystery party where it wasn't a surprise for them. Like they actually planned it.
right.
Yeah.
See, and I've been to one
I
where
have
we didn't
too.
even know who was gonna die. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like you pull the card, and then that whoever's arranging it doesn't even know until the.
Well, that's how we
thing
did
ends.
it
We
for
didn't know
this
who
one.
the murderer was.
Yes.
No, I'm saying you know who died.
Oh,
in the one
who
I went
died.
to. They pulled one out, and then they kind of pulled you aside and like you died.
You're about to die.
And I was like, what? And I died at that one, but
I'm gonna be honest. There wasn't enough death.
Yeah.
Because
You know what?
I think that's
I
what
thought
keeps
the same
people
thing.
interested. Because there's so many people, like there's so many options for who. Could
I don't know
have
how
done
you
it.
could have really actually solved it. It was way too hard.
It was just like I almost wish more people would have died, so then it eliminates who could have been.
Yeah.
like what's that game we
Yeah.
used to play?
Mafia.
Mafia.
Yeah.
It fully
It needed a mafia.
It needed
Yeah.
a mafia s where more people
I
were
think
dying.
the way we set it up, I agree.
And, okay,
I
it
think
didn't
this
help.
one was meant for a dinner party.
Yeah.
If we were sitting down at a table and then it's like we're all looking at our scripts. Okay, who's next? Let me pass this to you. The way we did it, I thought was way better. I
Yes.
think was like so much more fun. Now let's rewind a little bit here. So we come into the surprise. Oh, surprise! Happy birthday, Kara. Kara's just absolutely starstruck.
Wait,
She's
can you talk about the day two planning? Because that kind of cracked me up too. You guys
The
like
what?
setting up the lights and getting the bar and all of that. Like,
I mean, here's the thing about Albright Entertainment is like when
Yeah.
we plan parties, we don't just like plan parties. We like
Yeah.
we make memories, right?
was
Wouldn't
like
you
the
say
way
that's
you
kind of what we do?
fabricate memories
Yes,
for a lifetime.
that's right.
it was like you were filming a pilot episode for Criminal Minds.
Yes, it really was.
Full set deck, full lighting,
Because
full
right
sound.
when we come into the party, it's like, okay, great, get drinks in everybody's hands. Let's toast to Kara, right? I jump up on stage. Obviously, there's a stage with a microphone. Of course.
Because why wouldn't there
Because
be?
why wouldn't there
saying.
be?
Goes without saying.
I say, you know what? Look, this has been a great day for Kara. Let's just cheers to her and let's all celebrate tonight. Cheers.
Hey,
we
by the way,
drink.
I know
Yeah.
you think you said that. You didn't say that.
I said something
you said,
like that.
You said, here's to Kara. That's
Yeah.
literally all you said.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting
It
the
was-
speech, and there was no speech.
I did it a little bit in the foyer, but then I remembered
Ryan was trigger
we had to
happy.
do it in front of the
I
light.
could tell you wanted to get it going, which I
Yeah,
appreciate.
we had to get it going.
No, I remember because you did a rehearsal before.
Yes.
Like you and John were
I
like,
scrapped
okay,
the script.
Let's see how it goes. Like just doing a dry run with the sound and everything. So Ryan goes through the whole script.
I absolutely. And let me tell you,
No. Wait, let me finish.
Let her finish.
So Ryan had a whole
ahead.
thing prepped with John. It was like, okay, when I say this, then you hit the
thank
sound.
you.
Then I fall on the ground. Then I
Yes.
start coughing. Ryan got trigger happy. So right when he walked in with Carrie, he was like, "Oh, toast it, Carrie!" Like not even holding a cup. He was like,
No.
let's toast
And
it."
then he drank
Michael
it, and then he
put
died.
no, Michael put a drink in my hand.
Ryan was ready to die in that moment, and I was like,
Thank you
"Nobody's
for
at the
noticing.
sound."
No,
Because
okay, you're so wrong. You're so wrong.
I was like, if he dies here, it's gonna be so anticlimactic. And
anticlimactic.
like,
Yeah,
what was the
you're
point
right.
of all that?
Here's the problem: is immediately there's a drink in my hand.
Yeah.
So
we walk
in
in the
his
door.
brain, he's
So
like,
in my
"We're
mind, I'm like,
moving."
oh, we must have altered the script. Okay, so we have to move it.
Oh.
But no.
Right.
Here
no.
we go. Always blame the crew.
Listen.
Right?
Yeah. His career started
I was
in
also
improv.
I was riding that adrenaline high. Absolutely, my hand was not stable at all. I was like, cheers to
I know,
Kara.
I know. You were like ready to get the party started
Nervous
because
energy.
you were trying to keep it all put
100%.
together, and I get it. But you did go up there, and you're like, and I was expecting
was like,
again
"Cheers
in
to
rehearsal,
Kara."
like the speech of like, Kara, you had a long day, no more surprises, because that's what your whole thing
Yeah,
was. And
yeah,
then
I know. I
and all of a
scrapped
sudden you're
it.
like, cheers to Kara.
I scrapped
and I was
it.
like,
Yeah.
and I was like trying to get to the buttons.
Honestly, I feel like if you would have said no more surprises, that would have given it away.
I know. It was perfect.
We can go back and watch the tape. It
was perfect.
Everyone also, by the way, screaming while this
Yeah.
is happening. Kara, happy birthday, Kara.
Yeah, totally.
So
It's
listen,
not you. It's not you.
listen.
and everyone.
We have rehearsals for a reason. I get it.
I get it.
And on the next one, we'll get it right.
No, it was perfect. You couldn't have done it better. I'm just saying, it was different than what we originally planned. But I thought what happened was like money. It was awesome.
I don't know. Okay, wait. I don't know if Kara picked up on any of this or not, but as we're walking in, everyone's anticipating Ryan dying.
Yes.
And so everyone's actively talking about him about to die. So like, I walk into the kitchen. Kara's like walking in, seeing everything. Oh my god! I hear Tina, my dad, and my mom all going, "Oh no, we have to wait until he dies. He's gonna die in like 5 seconds."
Like,
I was like, "You guys."
I was doing the same thing. People had their scripts out in their hand. I was like, put your scripts away. I was like, Kara doesn't know
Away.
yet.
Kara doesn't know.
And Taylor Peckham was like, wait, what? And I was like, put it in your pocket. And he's like, okay. And I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't have noticed anyways.
I know,
Yeah.
but you never know.
That's what.
It was so
listen,
Also, it's
Kara.
like so overwhelming. So she comes in and
Yeah.
it's like there's like gold shimmery curtains. It's
Yeah.
all her friends dressed up.
Yeah.
And she's like,
my
oh,
gosh,
and then she walks into the
me-
room
let me
and
tell you
it's
about the
a
dressing up.
full speakeasy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
So
I
So
cool.
fully walked in. So back to 1930s. I
Surprise,
was like,
happy
oh
Kara.
wow, okay, like Gatsby themed. Like Ryan told me bad, like
Okay.
outfit choice.
Okay.
That is the first thing you said. You go, I didn't get the right dress code.
Yeah, I went wrong dress code, and then I turned to my left and see Olivia in like a podunk cowboy outfit.
She's
And I was
dressed like a
like,
cowboy.
what?
You're like, at least
What?
Olivia didn't get the dress code either.
Little Texas.
Olivia had a
Yeah.
hard time with her character.
like,
I'm going to be honest.
She did ask
What?
I got
for
a
weeks
few
about it.
texts about
But then
it.
I saw Dad, and I was like, Violet?
I thought you were going to say
Like,
Papa.
It was just costume party.
Yeah,
So
costume
then
party.
when we came in, and I had my drink that I was spilling everywhere because
Uh-huh.
everyone kept hugging me. I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, yeah.
And then you went up and you started. You freaking downed your drink,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, "Whoa!" And then you started coughing, and
Did you
it
think-
sounded real.
Yeah.
And then the second you started fumbling, I was like,
What's happening?
and then you grabbed a note. I went,
No, Kara, what
That was my
happened
realization.
in the
It was
background?
perfect.
What happened is I was
As he was
poisoned.
falling, the lights all turned red.
Yeah.
The whole lighting of the whole room
Yeah.
switches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Dramatic music
And
is
Kara- the
playing.
the second
Karen
you went to
looks
grab a
to me-
note
The
to
Succession
give
Did
me
it
the
all
note,
click
I
for
literally
you?
went,
was so
Murder,
iconic.
murder,
when he
murder.
when he plays me the like murder,
love
like
Succession.
the dying music, I was like, I mean, it was like, this is Succession. And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, this is hilarious.
It's perfect.
So good.
It's perfect.
Hey, quick sidebar.
Yeah, go ahead.
With a name like Texas Lil, how does she fit into the 1920s?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say not well.
Not
Okay.
well. Not well.
I told
she owned
listen.
a restaurant.
She owned the speakeasy.
She owned the speakeasy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Texas Lil? Like
yeah.
you don't
No,
think
I
of
thought it was
like,
more like Southern Belle. In my mind, it was
No,
like
it
not.
is.
Yeah.
No,
So you
it
went
is.
cowboy. So you went cowboy.
I would Yeah, because Texas Lil is like,
Why did you wear like a bonnet with a big fan and go, my stars?
because nobody's got that. Not me.
Okay, so you
I
have.
will say I loved your plastic cowboy hat.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Party City was pretty
you.
iconic.
Pretty good.
Apparently, Party City's going under too.
Oh yeah,
just to let you
going
know.
out of business.
Oh, what?
There,
Yeah.
I went there to go get tongs for like serving salad for rehearsal dinner.
99-cent store. Sorry, out of business. Dollar Tree.
That's what I'm saying. Everything's going out of business.
Oh, bro, literally.
Let me hit you with this one.
They said Amazon put them out
Amazon.
of business.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
shelves are
I
white.
needed it that
like there was
day.
nothing there, and it was so sad.
that is
That's
the
gonna be
problem
a
with
problem, yeah.
Amazon is you have to plan kind of 2 days in advance for your life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I need a plastic
think-
cowboy hat today,
I think Target
what I'm
is
talking
going to
about.
turn into the catch-all area.
you think they're going to
for
absorb
parties.
Party City?
Target said that they're lowering their prices on their like everyday goods
Told you.
because no one's going in and buying like, you know, the
Everyday
paper towels
goods.
and stuff. So they're lowering those prices in hopes to bring people back.
And then when you go there, you got a whole cart worth of stuff you never meant to buy,
Yeah.
and then that's where they make their money, right?
Tell you what, they haven't instilled that yet because I was just in Target earlier this week.
Still high.
Still normal, stupid
But
prices.
I'm saying,
Okay,
I think
boomer.
what Target will probably
Yeah.
do is, I bet Target probably seeing that Party City and all these places are going out of business is probably going to like backfill some of their sections to make up for that to some degree.
Sure.
They're
There's a whole-
really smart.
You know what Target's been lacking lately is their party section. So they'll probably
know.
amp
Their
that
party
back
section
up.
What's
is
their
rough.
party section? Is it good?
No, their party
it's at
section
Party City.
sucks.
Thank you.
It does suck.
Anyways,
Back to your party.
Back to
that
your party.
aside, but back to your party.
So Ryan died.
So I die right there
Ryan
on the dance
died.
floor.
I had a long note that I had to read that said pretty much like,
By the way, that's my nightmare too, reading a long note in front of everybody.
Oh,
really?
That
Yeah,
it
whatever.
really was. There was moments last night that were a nightmare for me.
I
Every
hate
time I had to
reading
get
out
on
loud.
stage and read from my little script, but I was trying not to I was trying not to look at it beforehand because Bethany Slomka tells me, she's like, I'm checking where people's eyes are on
Yeah,
their
on the
paper
page.
to see whether or not, because the way it was is the booklet had like your answer to your question if you were innocent and your answer to your question if you were guilty, and one was above the other one. So she's like, I'm watching people's eyes. So I'm like, I can't be, you know,
oh my
off,
god,
off
Cheat.
stage looking
Hack
at
the
stuff.
system.
she was cheating.
Oh yeah. And I was like,
Hack.
So yeah, read a note and it was pretty much like, oh, your husband was actually like undercover like mob boss,
Got it.
something, got poisoned.
Yes.
Poisoned.
Great guy.
if you actually read the whole thing, you were the ice cream ring.
Yes.
Like, you were like a mob
It was
boss
Al
of ice
Spumoni,
cream.
and
Yeah,
it was
Al Spumoni.
you owned the Spumoni ice cream
Yes.
brand.
Now here's
which there is no Spumoni ice cream brand. Spumoni
Yeah.
is just a type of ice
They
cream.
can't get sued. Of course.
Here's
it's
what
not
I did.
And then it was like-
There was a lot of
Ben and
lore.
Jerry's wasn't available.
It was a lot of lore.
There was lore based around the introduction of the game that I didn't like because it was like Al Spumoni, the guy that dies. I had already decided I was going to be the one to die, right? Al Spumoni's the one that dies, of course, the mob boss.
Sure.
But I didn't want to be like, okay, Kara, and now what characters? I wanted the surprise of I died on the dance floor. That
Yeah.
was like kind of the whole thing.
So he died, and it pretty much said that I also was undercover.
You were,
and then I was a detective that was going to like out him, and I was pretty much just married to him just to.
the you being
figure
married to
out
me. That was
mob
kind of a
stuff.
side note. Yeah.
So then I was a detective, and then there was another detective that had to help me, and then everyone had characters, and they all came up and said their characters, and
The nightmare Annie's talking about is then everybody had to do their own little readings.
Yeah.
And
That's where it all went downhill for me.
It's so downhill.
Because everyone there, I think it's the
Theater
group that
kids.
we had together was
former theater kids.
a group of former theater kids. Everyone with their accents committed way too hard. So it was like I couldn't understand a single thing anyone was saying. It was
and there
like
was also 20 people.
yes, and they're
You know
all
who was
like,
pretty
And
good?
everyone-
Michael's accent was, Michael Penning's accent was
He
pretty
was good. He sounded like exactly like
No,
he belonged to
everyone was-
Newsies.
But
that's
Taylor
the problem.
Peckham
Everyone was fantastic.
I didn't hear a word Taylor Peckham said.
No.
And then people started going off script. So I was like, is this part of
Taylor
it?
started to pick out people and say personal things, like talk to your dad and be like, "You should sing White Christmas," and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, it was crazy.
My favorite thing though is like there were so many wacky words in the dialogue too. So like my brain the whole time, all I heard was like blah boop boop bop.
Yeah, it was so wacky.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
I wasn't
Yeah.
so
thinking
true.
about
Yes.
anything that
It's
anyone
so
was saying.
true.
And then everyone was like screaming in between. Like I couldn't latch onto a single word.
There was a
like,
whole narrative of like lock her up, like
Lock
Yeah.
which I didn't really.
I started
didn't-
that. I think
Oh,
I
that
started
was you,
I
huh?
think I started that one. Yeah. I thought it was funny.
I started
I started that.
I thought it was
That is
funny.
hilarious. Yeah.
It was with you specifically. Well, somebody tied it to you because I was going to do it for everybody that went up for like a whole period of time. And they're like, no, it's just for Olivia. And I was like, okay.
No,
whatever.
You know
was
who I
eating that
really
up.
enjoyed watching perform this weekend?
Who?
Was your wife, Jordan.
Yeah.
She did great.
Was
She
Jordan?
Killed it.
Oh my
She was
gosh!
nervous.
Talk about Jordan. Jordan comes to see Legally Blonde,
Yeah.
and is
I'm
so
tracking the whole weekend.
Literally,
Yes.
now it's making so
Yeah.
much sense.
Yeah, of course.
She literally comes, and afterwards she's like, "I want to do this.
Yeah.
By the way, she's
This is
always
this is so fun. I
as long
loved it
as
so
I've
much."
known her, has always said like she has told me multiple times, I wish I did theater in high school.
My
I
gosh.
wish. She's like, I could have been so good. Like it would have been so fun.
And now
But
that
in the
this party
same breath,
happens-
she'll tear you down for
Oh,
it.
100%.
She'll be like, okay, theater
100%.
kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
just
It's
called being
because
married.
she's lashing out. It's because she's
And then
lashing
she
out.
got to this party, and she had a character.
performed.
Which
She
she
got
said
really
she
nervous.
was like, she's like, I do not want to get up there. I hate this. I hate things like this. Got up there fully in character.
Cigarette in hand. I want to emote. I was the,
was
the
so
famed
good.
First thing
actress.
she said was,
I had my lover
It's a
die.
party. You
Yeah.
see?
Yes.
I think it would be healthy, and this is me being genuine.
Go ahead.
I think it would be healthy for all of you
Yeah.
to be involved in a production in your local theater and just do
Okay,
it for
done.
free.
Okay.
Done.
I
don't care if that's
I'd go as
crew.
far to say that I think everybody should. I
Just
think
in
everyone
general,
should be
yeah.
involved. If they hadn't before, I think Jordan should probably get plugged
Yeah,
in with a
she-
local theater.
She was.
Yeah, with all that free time she has.
Yeah. With all that free time she has.
She was she was excited. She was really nervous, and then I was like, whatever, like it is what it is. But I honestly kind of get it, like we were just saying. I don't like reading out loud
No,
in any scenario.
of course
and
not.
then you're in front of all these sharks where if you make a mistake,
One
they'll kill
minuscule
ya.
mistake, yeah.
it's your bit, right? It'll
Yeah.
be your contact.
Yeah.
You'll be your contact in their phone for the rest of their life. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Uh-huh.
And so I get the pressure of it, but
Yes.
she did great. She killed
Yes.
it.
She killed.
Another notable moment at the party, and I was just talking about this with these two, is so there's all the characters. There's like a certain amount of characters, and then in the notes, it's like if there's more people than there are characters, you can just make them detectives, and they can still ask questions and try to figure out the murder, but they're just detectives. So Kara's brother and sister-in-law and nephew, right? They all show up to the party, and I'm like, okay, Cooper's little still, so Kennedy's like 9 months pregnant. She's gonna be like back and
I
forth
love
with
that you
Cooper.
considered Cooper for a role, though.
I'm like, no. That's my point.
just
Is
saying.
I knew he was coming because Kennedy was like,
He'll
look,
be a little detective.
we're not getting a sitter. Like I'm bringing Cooper. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah,
Detective.
that's fine. He's a teeny tiny detective.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Connor, on the other hand,
yeah, you made a big
I
mistake.
go,
he was a character.
I go, Connor. You don't have a thing to read, but here's this. Like
was
you're gonna read
crushed.
the evidence thing. He goes, no, I got it. I go, okay, what do you mean? He went into Chat GPT and said, write me an introduction for a murder mystery for a detective.
Yeah, next time you give him a character, he had main character energy from the moment he
Oh,
walked.
100%.
Full
moment.
commit
Connor
to his
The
costume.
had
one
his
Philly who
notebook.
never did theater.
Yeah.
I know, and he add him to the list right there
First
with
of all,
Jordan.
you weren't here for this.
Uh-huh.
They show up, and Connor didn't have a notebook, and his wife Kennedy's like, "Do we have a notebook for him? Like, can we get the man a notebook?"
I was like letting them off the hook. I'm like,
Andy,
you're-
where's the notebook?
Where's the
I'm like,
notebook?
you have your 2-year-old child and your pregnant wife. Just hang out and enjoy the party. He's like,
No.
nah,
That's not
I'm
how
not going to do
Phillies
that.
work. That's
He
not how
goes,
Phillies
he
work.
goes,
solve
hey
the
Ryan,
crime.
I got this. I go, what do you mean? And he jumps up on stage and he goes, it's a cool dark evening. I'm like, oh my God, he's got his own script.
Several times I heard Ryan say, "Stick to the script."
You're going off
Tell you what,
script.
these former theater kids, man, they'll get you.
You know what? I would
love
say
improv.
more than the former theater kids, it was the parents.
Yeah, I'd like to highlight
the
one of my
parents.
favorite
Yeah,
moments
go
of
ahead.
Robert Philly when he was up there and he was just doing his bit thing,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
then he's like, "I'd like to role play with Goldie, whoever your mom was."
Yeah, his
and
wife.
we were all like, "What?"
There was, okay. I mean, you got to give him context. There was a lot of inflatable weapons. There was
Sure.
a lot of props,
Is that-
cigarettes.
Does that help
and-
the context?
Yeah, no, I mean,
okay, all right.
yeah, sure.
Surely gives us a visual. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
There's blow up guns. There's
There's blow up guns. I
There
mean,
was
fake
tassels.
cigarettes. There was tassels. You got to
tassels.
realize,
Heck,
John.
there's a lot of
Ryan.
fringe.
There's a lot of options in that
Necessary,
room.
right? I think
No,
we're good
no.
there.
But it was
You're
so
just
good.
not understanding the context.
And your dad was killing too.
Yeah, yeah.
He told you to shut up at one point.
Yeah,
he
that
was
was
really
iconic.
bringing in the gangster
He was
element.
Yeah,
crazy.
I forget what I shouted something out at him.
He's
and
like,
he,
"Shut up."
he humbled me immediately.
Yeah.
That was
Good.
amazing.
Consolidated power immediately.
Yeah,
It
he was
awesome.
like,
I'm the captain.
As soon as you
He also had
introduce
4 cigarettes in his mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that was
fake
crazy.
cigarettes were a hit.
They were a
People
hit.
were smoking those like they were
And
real.
sharing them like it was like I don't know what. We were throwing COVID cigarettes around. It was amazing.
The best is Carrie at the end of the night, still puffing on it as if like
As if
it's a
it's
real
like-
cigarette.
It's
lit. Yeah.
The party's fully over. It's all cleaned up, and she's like, yeah.
She's like, I remember
still going with
2
it.
packs a day.
Dad said
Yeah.
we all went to pose for the photo when all of it was like, oh, everybody get together. He grabs a random cigarette off the table. He said it was soaking wet. He put it in his mouth. He was like,
Gross. Are you kidding me? Disgusting.
So good.
Meanwhile, another big shout out I got to give Michael Pinning at the bar.
Yeah.
He was actually working last
He was
I felt so bad.
working.
He was like sweating.
At one point, he like dropped a bottle of Topo Chico. He's fully like back there, like sweeping up the glass, like wiping down the counter. I'm like, he's talked about on this show being a bartender, and I saw it last.
Oh, yeah,
night.
he could
I
be.
He
absolutely
legit
saw
was.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
he should have had a tip jar.
Now let's talk about this bar. Let's talk about the lengths that
bar.
we're gone to acquire this bar.
Listen, Ryan put
Describe
me,
the bar for a
Ryan
second.
asked me if I would help with decor. Months and months
Okay, let's
ago.
call it what it is. I put you in charge of this party,
Thank you.
Annie. You were absolutely.
Me and Cat Pinning, we really took it on. We had design meetings, multiple.
I truly,
Yeah, Kara, you are so out of it.
I truly could not have pulled this off
This
without
was
Annie and
the
Kat.
perfect time for me to be in a show.
Yeah, you were so busy. It was so
And she's
nice.
Part of the
And you're
reason
right on.
we did it.
Perfect.
For being honest.
That's why it
And-
was Monday night after closing.
We had met up the day before. We met up on Friday or on Sunday to go over, like our centerpiece stuff, all the table decor, what we're bringing, all this stuff. And then I said, well, what's our plan for the bar? And we had dreamed months and months and months ago of like getting 2 barrels. And putting something on top, like a makeshift bar, like a speakeasy
Like a
would have.
speakeasy.
It's 1920s. They like can't build a bar because they're like illegal. And it just kind of fell
Outlawed.
through. And I asked her, I was like, what's our plan for the bar? And she's like, oh, 2 like high top tables and we'll find something to put on it. I was like, it's just not gonna fly for me. It's just not gonna fly for me. That morning, I woke up and I said, I have to figure
She
out a
chose
bar
violence.
situation. It has to be something. It can't just be that.
Let me read my text from Annie at 7 in the morning. Hold on.
I put a
morning is
4-mile
crazy.
radius on Facebook Marketplace, and I put in the like little search bar. And I found the perfect thing.
7:50 a.m. Help! I need a truck to go get the bar I'm renting. Send me a picture of the bar.
It's 2 barrels.
I'm gonna
with
send
a
it to
copper,
John.
with like a patinaed copper top. And I said, "Oh my god, this is perfect." The guy wanted $300. I texted him. I said, "What if I rent it today for a party I'm doing tonight?" And he was
She
like,
goes,
"Yeah, sure."
Does Aaron have his truck? It's too big to fit in my car. It's the perfect bar for the party I'm planning, and we need it. Think of the ambiance. Let me know what Aaron says. And then I said, don't have it. Aaron's not answering. She goes, maybe I'll rent a U-Haul.
And I did. And I fully was like, the guy was like, let me know if you're going to come pick it up. And I'm thinking of everyone I know with the truck. It's also like a Monday at
Yep.
this point. So
Yeah.
everyone's at work. I'm like, there's no like, Joe Schmo that can be like, hey, you got a truck. And the one person I do know like that is in freaking Texas.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I guess I'm renting a U-Haul. I rent a U-Haul. I go to
So
breakfast.
crazy.
I go to breakfast for Kara's birthday. Oh, surprise. And she's like, we're going to go walk on the beach. I was like, I got
She's like,
things to
I
do.
got stuff to
AKA,
do.
I have to go pick up all the stuff I printed and the U-Haul to go get the bar. And so I pick up this U-Haul. I'm driving this giant U-Haul truck. This guy, I pull up. He loads into my car. He's like, I'll be real. I don't want it back. He goes, I'm moving.
He goes, I got to get rid of this
He
thing.
goes, how much would your friend give me for it? And I said, I don't know. I'll ask him at the party. I'm fully like,
You have all the
this
power.
bar too, so freaking heavy.
Oh, it's solid. It's rock solid.
solid.
It's like somebody built it out of like hardwood and an actual barrel.
Wait,
and
how did he get it into the U-Haul? Like, it was just you and
dude,
him.
it was
thank
a
you.
schlep. It was a schlep.
Listen, we fully are like heaving it back and we're like pushing it up. So it like leaned up against the back of the U-Haul. And he was like, okay, lift. And we like lift it up and push it in.
You and this random
And
guy?
he fully like, he went and I knew it was going to be heavier than sin when he went and changed out of his shoes, his tennis shoes, into literal work boots. I was like, oh,
Steel
this is a
toe.
bad
no.
sign, bad sign. And I'm in my Sambas like,
Yeah.
hey, let me help with the bar. I'll
push.
I'll help. I'm driving U-Haul.
I'm like, Elmo, that's awesome.
And I'm freaking booking it to Point Loma to go set up. And this bar is like, tung, tung,
yeah, he's on the
in
phone with me.
back.
She's like, hey, when I get there, can you help me unload the bar? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
hear like, oh. And she's like, shh. And I was like, oh, are you okay? She's like, that's just the bar. It moved. It's fine. It's fine. And I was like,
I'm like, this thing's gonna kill me.
I
It's
get to
gonna
the
chip
house.
over
There's
the
a
whole
big
car.
old U-Haul in front of the house. She goes, I already called John, and when he gets here, he's gonna help. I'm like, okay, no, we're good. Like, let's get this thing out of here. So me and my
and let me
dad
tell you,
put it on
it
the
was-
dolly.
We put it right in front of the hutch that your parents have.
Oh, it was beautiful.
And it was the perfect
It
setup.
looked
I
like
was
it belonged there. It looked like it was custom. It was so good.
good.
Parents
And
should have bought it.
there was no way that we were taking it back. I was like, we can't.
No way in hell.
We need
Did
it.
you settle that deal? Is it all
Oh yeah,
done?
he texted
John,
me and
go
he
ahead and
was like,
check the
"How's
picture
the
I just sent you."
party?"
Oh no.
He's like, "How's the party going? Does your friend want the bar?"
Oh, that is awesome. And I gotta add this in there. Dang it.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
we delivered it to Ryan's house at the end of the night, and it is now garage
And
bar.
I spent all day rearranging my garage, and now there it is.
It's perfect.
Garage
Kara.
bar.
Garage bar.
And Kara, I didn't buy it. Ryan bought it for you. Ryan bought you a bar for your birthday. It's so cool.
It's your birthday gift to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say early birthday for you.
Yeah.
Oh
Listen,
god.
but
And can I ask how much you paid for it?
100 bucks?
110. 110.
Okay. worth
Come
it.
on.
And the guy wanted 300.
Yeah, I
so
wanted
steal.
300.
Honestly, if I was that guy, I would have been like, just take it.
Yeah.
I know. I was kind of hoping he was just gonna be like, "Hey, hope the party's good."
Kinda crazy he wanted
Don't bring it
$300
back.
for
Just
that.
keep it. Whatever.
If you
It's
build
a-
it, they will come, right?
It's like a custom built bar. Like
if
it's
he
cool.
like if he didn't budge, I mean, we'd still be buying that thing.
My
Are you
dad
kidding me?
literally said,
It's
"I'll
for the
take
party.
it."
yeah, it was sick. And,
My dad was like, I'll put it in the backyard.
and it's what made
Dad
it
already
a
has a
speakeasy.
custom bar.
And
back
we
there.
had
No.
we had all the other stuff. We had, we taped over all of your family photos with 1920s
with black and white.
black
Yeah.
and white
That was
photos.
great.
There were cardboard boxes that were like ammunition, but then
It was like
and
crates
Bibles,
full of like,
crucifixes.
what do you call it? Like bootlegger.
Yeah,
crates.
with like bottles coming out. We've been like collecting all the empty bottles for
Yeah.
like a month at everyone's houses. Yeah,
Let me tell you
it's-
about the tech side. Okay.
yeah.
Ryan and
Walk
I-
us through the tech.
Ryan and
specs.
I had the same conversation at the beginning of the inception of this whole like party. It was like, we're gonna spend like 2 weeks. We're gonna get into your parents' house. We're gonna like map out where we want.
I was like, my
lighting,
parents are gonna be out of town,
where
so we
want
can fully set it all
sound,
up.
right? And I was like, yeah, totally. And then on last Monday,
Yeah.
he texted me. He's like, okay, so like, what do we want to do? Like, we want to get in there. I was going out of town this last weekend. I didn't get in till Sunday night. And I was like, I could do Wednesday. And he's like, can't do Wednesday. Can you do Thursday? I was like, I actually can't do Thursday. And he goes, we'll just do it on Monday morning. And I was like, okay. And sure enough, like it'll like you wouldn't even be able to tell. I mean, that we couldn't have done a better job than that.
In my head was like, we have to light every corner of the room, and it has to be like Clue, where we can light one room at a time. And
Right.
I was dreaming really big, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the game's not really set up for
No.
that structure, anyways.
No.
But it ended up being just fine. Like we just popped the
Totally.
lights, and I made a few cues, and then we just tested.
It
all the
does
stuff,
inspire me a little bit to make a game that's better. You know?
Right.
I think there's an element of like chatting
Mm-hmm.
that we missed
No,
out on.
and that's
Yes.
the question part was not meant to be asked in
As a
front of the whole
group.
crowd. You're supposed to just like mingle and talk to people
Yeah.
and ask the questions.
This is the wrong group to do that.
I
Yeah.
know.
I
We're
think
all like
perfect.
catching up.
I think it was more like performance art, and we needed it to be more escape room.
Well,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
viewers back home, the way that we structured it was like, if you want to ask a question about the mystery, go on stage and ask it in front of everybody, and then
Yes.
whoever that question is asked to, that person gets on stage. So it was just like an open mic the
It
whole
was
night.
Right, totally.
Where
Yeah.
everyone's watching, whereas like you could structure it where it's like the
I'll tell you
characters
what,
are talking.
I had a blast.
First daunting thing, 3 acts.
Yeah.
But also the acts didn't make sense either because it was just more questions.
Yeah,
I feel like there has to be one out there that's more like, oh, the death immediately starts and like, oh, everyone look around and find clue number 1.
That's what I mean, like escape room.
Like, oh, go find the clue, and then suddenly you hear a noise from the other room, and you're like, oh, everyone go to this room, and some's dead in there too.
That's what we were missing is any
More
sort
death.
of
More death.
any sort of turns
Yeah.
or reveals.
Yeah.
There was no evidence that was shocking.
Well,
No.
and then so I was the killer.
Yeah.
By the
Crazy
way,
reveal
called it.
for me.
Called it. By the way.
Crazy.
Did anyone else know it was Annie?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
tell anyone.
I truly.
I had a feeling.
I guess it was Annie, but okay. Yes.
Well, okay, because I really gave
you
myself
guys.
away in Act 2 because, like, going back to the wording was weird. And my Act 2 response for the guilty one was like, "Why would I?" It was like, it said something like, "And that's why I killed him," or so you think, or something like that. And so I read it, and I was like, oh shoot, am I reading the wrong thing? But I'm on stage into a mic fumbling, and everyone's like, she's guilty. I was like,
I can honestly tell you, I fully missed that moment. So
Oh.
I was still like, who's the killer? I don't know.
You said like if I killed him, or so you think. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Which is what I
so
would say if I
weird.
did, but I didn't.
but I didn't. But I didn't kill him. I swear.
We
It was
figured
so
it out.
weird.
I figured it out because Trevor noticed the like description. If you read your own script, you could see the excuses if you were guilty were like so obvious. Where it was like just an excuse that was like a non-excuse. It was like, oh, I didn't do that because I was somewhere else. And then like your answer was like the same. So I think the way they
Right.
wrote it was like super obvious. It was like, oh, if you just look at your own script.
It's like any kind of like critical thinking could have
Yeah.
broken the whole thing
and
open.
then the reveal at the end was like, everyone got a number. And I fully exposed myself to Jordan because my little thing, it was like the slip of paper that tells you if you're guilty or not had like a little number on it, but mine didn't because it literally said like, which I didn't really read thoroughly. It was like, oh, you'll just be the last person to go up. You don't have a number.
Right.
You're the last one. Well, first I was like, I don't know how many people there are. I don't know how many numbers there are. And then on top of that, it was like, I was like, where's this number? It keeps on saying I have a number. I'm like looking at
You're
my
like,
little
I
thing.
don't
I'm
see
like,
the number.
Where's your number?
Oh.
And I look at Jordan, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Me too.
Same.
Wait,
You're
I
like,
do
oh,
have a
found
number.
mine. Found it.
Found my
it's in the
number.
same spot as yours.
And so then it was just like when everyone was done and there was like, who hasn't gone yet? And it was like, Annie hasn't gone. I was like, yep, it was
I
me.
do have to admit, still a pretty awesome reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thank
We
you.
had the
It was
music,
epic.
we had you up on stage. I got to rewatch the video of it. Annie,
So
you
funny.
nailed it.
Oh,
You
good. I
absolutely
tried
nailed
to
it.
memorize it because it was a huge chunk. I was like,
That was
there
the
ain't
best
I was
no
so
way.
glad I
Jordan
wasn't
went, "Did
guilty
you
because I didn't want
memorize
to read that freaking paragraph. I was like, I'm not reading this crap.
It was a
Please.
huge
I would have
paragraph.
traded somebody for it.
And then I was like trying not to be nonchalant, like looking at it because I'm like, if anyone just looks at me, I'm over here like, like
You're, like,
fully memorizing
studying,
this
you're like-
giant paragraph.
They're like, it's 2 lines, Annie. What are you? You're like, oh, yeah.
yeah.
I will say that was the fun element that like any of them could have been. Oh, that camera just gave up. Any of them could have been the guilty one. Like there was backstories built for every single character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Like
crazy.
they put in the. I will say background on this website is called like BroadwayMurders.com or
no.
something, and their whole thing, glowing review. We had a great time with this game. Whatever. Their whole thing is like if you don't want to do your own explanations about the evidence or like how to start the game, we have Broadway actors that have recorded these videos,
Awesome.
and you can play the videos and just watch it. And so like instead of Carol reading the letter, we could have played a video of this person to be like, hey, you're all here because Al Spumoni was killed. Like
I almost wish we did. Just
we
to
can go back
know,
and watch them for the post show.
since we have access.
I want to know what actors did it
It's not anyone you know. It's not like
off Broadway.
Yeah, it's not like Adina Menzel read
Same
it for you.
people that
It's like
perform at Stardust
it's like
Diner.
it's Stardust Diner people, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
fun.
think what would be fun is if you did like if you took like a movie or something and then made
Adapted it.
a story from it. Yeah.
Totally.
Like a familiar world. Because this world was so random that it was like,
Yeah.
oh,
It was just like
Spumoni.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
And all the characters were like punny, like
yeah, like
Teclin Ivory.
kicks higher.
yeah, kicks higher.
Taps fasta.
Taps fasta. Yeah.
Just the word.
Rosa got a gat.
I had a friend when I worked at Shadow Mountain. They did like a Halloween event every year, and it was like Clue. There was characters but my friend like wrote the script.
Yeah.
And he did all the storylines, and you would go to different rooms across campus to get clues to then solve it. And like people actually solved it.
So fun.
And I was just like, I was in awe of him. I'm like, how do you write? Like, how do
Yeah.
you keep track of it all? You know?
Honestly, I
Yeah.
should have just outsourced to like Olivia, like just write it.
Well, knowing what
I got
know
caught up in
now,
the
I'm like,
the
oh,
party
we could do
weeds.
that. Like,
Totally.
But it is daunting from like scratch to be like a murder
No, I
mystery,
could
and you're
never.
like, how?
I'm
That's
like, so I
great,
literally
but,
have to
like,
write like a small screenplay. Like, okay,
Literally.
sure. Yeah, let me get right to it for Kara's birthday.
Yeah,
I think knowing what we know, we had never done it. So I think
Yeah.
now that we know,
Now
it's
that
so
we
fun.
understand the concept, it's
Next
literally
year
just
it's
like
gonna be
it'd be
great.
kind
things
of funny
to read on stage.
is if we do the exact same setup,
Uh-huh.
but like a different theme. So like this was 20s.
Oh,
and then
trust
like
me.
someone comes in and it's like the exact same, like, cheers to Michael. Poison. And it's like, like Tiki Room themed.
Everyone's like,
And it's
damn
like,
it.
It's like
no.
it doesn't have to be for a surprise party or something. We could just literally throw a party where we all know our characters
Oh,
And-
that could
and
be
we just
fun.
do it again.
I mean, it was fun. I would like to do it again and like actually participate. I was kind of a ghost the whole time, so
You know what I've seen?
I think that was the hard part about a surprise party because it's also like people want to say happy birthday to me and like talk to me.
Yeah.
And we hadn't all seen each other in a
know.
while. So
I
it
know.
was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, how are you? How was that? Oh my gosh, how was Europe? Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Spumoni died.
My
Moni
favorite,
died.
my favorite reveal I've seen before in a video was it's like a girl bringing out a cake with all the candles, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, birthday cake! Happy birthday to you!" And the girl blows it out, and then there's a question mark in frosting on the cake, and the person holding the cake falls and dies on the table. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Like,
That's so good.
I think that
commit
was the
to
video
it.
I saw that kind of inspired
Yeah,
the
triggered
double
the
surprise.
idea.
Yeah.
Good.
I will say too, for a whole day, Kara, it was almost a Old West themed murder mystery party.
Oh,
That
that
could've
that
been
would
fun,
have
too.
been cool.
That could've
Little
been.
Texas would have
And
made
you
a
know
lot
what?
more
That
sense.
bar works for any of it.
Yeah,
Pirate.
I know.
Old West.
I,
Those are kind of it.
Wine, like winery.
Winery.
You can rent that bar right now for $60.
No, you
I'm
can't.
planning my
That
pirate
will-
themed birthday party for next year, and that bar is going to
Yeah.
be there.
I will have been dead for 50 years, and that bar will still be in my garage. So
Well,
that's fine.
Minus the time you borrow it.
minus the time I have my pirate themed birthday party.
Under the sea. You can go
Pirate
under
is
the sea.
great.
I know. I want a pirate
Arr.
themed birthday party so bad.
I do love the idea that we have a pirate birthday party, and then same thing, another reveal. Oh God! Arr, she
I like
goes.
the idea of like inviting new people, and then all of our friends like know that
They're
like, it's
like-
probably gonna be a murder mystery, but like the new people to the group have no idea.
It's like, what do you mean?
a thing
Oh
we
yeah,
do now.
he does this every year.
He does.
Like,
It's like the same exact setup.
Always
and everyone's
Ryan.
the same characters. It's like, okay, so Rosa got a
Caps
get. All
faster.
right.
Gigs.
So good.
On the post show, I'll tell you why we couldn't do the Old West themed murder mystery.
Racist.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Okay.
It's dated. I'll just say that. It's dated. Folks, for just $4 a month, you can join that Patreon and you can help us keep these lights on around here. $4 a month, you can watch our cut content, you can watch our exclusive post show, you can see a little behind the scenes stuff.
BTS.
You can get that merch when it finally drops. But with that, I mean, wow, we really talked through our 45 minutes here, guys.
We're about
Happy
4 minutes
birthday,
over.
Kara.
Happy birthday, Kara.
birthday, Kara.
Just really quick, how do you feel? You're 28 now.
great.
What's your word of
Great.
this next year?
Oh, isn't that a New Year thing?
No. You get two words.
No.
No.
Adventure.
Oh,
Okay,
I like
that's it. Next year, Indiana Jones birthday party.
Oh my God,
would be good.
that belongs in a museum.
Transatlantic theme.
Oh, transatlantic.
I mean, that's
Oh my
kind
gosh,
of the same
Atlantis.
thing like 1930s.
Basically what we did.
Milo Thatch. Oh my God.
The bar
Okay.
works.
The bar works. The bar
The
works.
bar
always.
still works. On the couch as always, Kara Tafoya, Annie the Scope Scoveman, Olivia Tafoya. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on What the Podcast. It's like a ghost in your life, Olivia.
I know. It's
Always
so
haunting
iCarly
you.
of you guys.
Wow.
I just finished that Quiet on Set documentary.
Ooh.
I know I'm like way late to it, but
Was it sad?
it was really sad.
I didn't watch it.
It was sad, but then also they've updated a 4th episode, which is just like after it all came out, the actual documentary, like reactions to it all.
Oh, we should probably watch that tonight.